Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Friday night. Before I go to bed, I thought it'd be fun for us to do a video game review for the video game section of the YouTube channel. We've got some absolutely Rose Street on in the background, which is the Sega 32X infomercial, which is fantastic. And you may be asking yourself, Noel, why are you watching absolutely Rose Street? Well, the answer to that is because it's awesome, but also because we're going to be reviewing a game for the newly acquired 32X. And that game, my friends, is, in my opinion, the best version of Mortal Kombat 2. We are going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat 2 for the Sega 32X. So I'm going to hit the lights, and we'll enjoy some gameplay shortly. Wow. Powerful stuff. Now, the cool thing about Mortal Kombat 2 on the 32X is I would argue that it combines the best of the arcade version with the best of the Sega Genesis version. The Sega Genesis version of this game on consoles had very nice, fast-moving sprites, and very good gameplay in terms of the responsiveness of the controls. However, it really did cut quite a bit out of the arcade version. It cut out the character biographies, it cut out the character endings, and it cut out the attract mode to the game. So it really was like an unfortunate bare-bones version of Mortal Kombat 2, despite the fact that it has some merit in terms of gameplay. The Super Nintendo version of this game had good gameplay. The graphics had some nice color to them, but they appeared a little bit smudgy. And then you had ports for the Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation of this game that looked great, but did have some load times you had to deal with. The 32X, I would argue, is the best of all worlds. It has, I would even argue, more accessible gameplay than the arcade version, which gets incredibly cheap and starts doing a lot of input reading of your moves, at least in my opinion. And so I would say that the gameplay, you never really feel that you're getting cheated by the computer when you play this game on the 32X. And I don't know if you can tell this or not, but the 32X has very, very nice RGB SCART capabilities when playing this on a professional video monitor. And this game looks really stunning. I don't know how well you certainly can't tell from this screen here, but this game looks really amazing. And I've played the arcade version of Mortal Kombat 2, and I think this looks better going through RGB on the 32X, and it's also just a lot of fun to play. I would say this is as fun to play as Mortal Kombat 1 on the Sega Genesis, which it wasn't like a pushover game, but when you did your moves, right? You didn't feel like the computer was input reading you or cheating you, just to kind of give you a challenge. Now, Capcom games definitely are, I would say, better than Mortal Kombat games. Same thing with SNK games. But Mortal Kombat games are fun, and I really do enjoy the digitized graphics. And Mortal Kombat games are at their best when you can actually perform your moves without feeling like the computer is cheating you in any way. So, and some people might be really good at Mortal Kombat and be better at me and not really know what I'm talking about. But as someone who is a big, Street Fighter gamer, that was always one of my complaints with ports of Mortal Kombat 2, is that I felt the difficulty on the game could just get kind of not even unreasonable in a good way, just generally unreasonable, especially when you get to Kintaro. Now, I can tell you right from beating this game, and we did pump the difficulty down all the way to very easy, but I can go play through this game and feel like I'm not just steamrolling the computer, but I feel like I can have a nice, relaxing gameplay experience. Music is very nice. No load times, very big, crisp, digitized graphics. Blood is present, and I don't have the Mortal Kombat 2 finish moves memorized. I have pretty much all of the Mortal Kombat 1 finish moves memorized, but I don't believe Liu Kang's 360 motion with the controller works in Mortal Kombat 2, but I'll try it. Another fun thing about this game, new characters. So I'm not like a huge fan of the aesthetic of Mortal Kombat 2 over Mortal Kombat 1. I do like the aesthetic of Mortal Kombat 2, but I think that 1 had a cooler look and feel because 1 was like this combination of all of these action and martial arts movie tropes in a fighting tournament. This game starts to incorporate kind of dark other dimensions, which do look cool. Don't get me wrong. And I do like the color palette in this game as well. But I just kind of like the generally brighter feel to Mortal Kombat 1 than 2. And there are new characters in 2, which is cool. So we have characters like Baraka, Melina, Jade, and Jax. And actually, Jax was an original character in Mortal Kombat 1 from what I've read. But he actually got cut in favor of Sonya. But he's here now. Now, I believe in the Sega Genesis version, that monk was not in the background. So, I mean, we essentially have an arcade-perfect experience. Although, I believe if you put this next to the arcade sprites might be a bit bigger. But these sprites look excellent. Highly detailed, vivid colors. And I, again, just can't say enough great things about the visuals and the 32X's RGB capabilities. Very, very good stuff. We've got our 32X hooked into the Genesis Model 2, but it can be hooked into the Sega CDX, but apparently there are some people who warn that there might be some incompatibility issues with the Sega CDX in terms of certain things in the Sega CDX that could potentially overheat with the 32X. I haven't really seen any evidence of that, either in terms of people who talk about it online or even just me plugging it into my own Sega CDX. But just to be safe, and I want to give my Sega Model 2 some love, I've got my 32X going through the Sega Model 2. Liu Kang, incidentally, we haven't been talking a whole bunch about gameplay. He is the main character of Mortal Kombat, and he's also a very easy character to play. Basically, his attacks are forward punch, forward high punch, forward kick, back kick. Now, Mortal Kombat, they have a block button, which is a bit different than Street Fighter. And the special moves do feel less fluid because you're hitting directions rather than sweeping the D-pad. So everything just feels a bit more like it's a little bit more like a chess game, but not necessarily in a good way. It's like, okay, here's my move, please connect, as opposed to in Street Fighter where it's much more fluid with how you're moving and how you're moving with the D-pad. This is not me saying that Mortal Kombat isn't good. I really do like it, and for people now, you don't really understand how special the digitized graphics were because for a long time, people, they never saw a person that you could actually control like a video game character, let alone do it in an efficient, enjoyable way. So this game is really, a pioneer in being able to bring video game realism to the next level, while at the same time marrying that to fun gameplay. So definitely, Mortal Kombat is, deserving of its positive legacy, and I really do miss the digitized graphics. I see these new things for like Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 10, and they look cool for sure, but I think they really lack the charm of the digitized graphics, and the character models are just getting kind of increasingly complicated and drifting, I would say, way too far away from the look and feel of the original actors. Incidentally, a lot of the original actors are available on social media to follow. Daniel Pesina seems like a really cool guy, and there's lots of fun videos on YouTube you can watch with Mortal Kombat actor interviews. Now, Mortal Kombat 2 was the last game for a good chunk of those actors because there were pay dispute issues with Acclaim, but Mortal Kombat 2 really, as a sequel to Mortal Kombat 1, people have different aesthetic preferences, and I really like the look and feel of Mortal Kombat 1 a bit better than 2. I just thought it was a bit more charming and brighter, but as far as being a sequel, Mortal Kombat 2 does a really good job. It adds more characters, it gives you new locales. My only thing I would criticize is that it doesn't have the same finish moves. You can't just do the finish moves from Mortal Kombat Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2. Now, the thing is they've added multiple finish moves for different characters, so I would say, why aren't you just doing the original Mortal Kombat 1 finish moves and then adding new finish moves? Here's a Reptile. This was a huge deal because I used to call the Acclaim hotline regularly as a kid, trying to see if there was any way to play as Reptile in Mortal Kombat 1, and there was not. And finally, in Mortal Kombat 2, you could play as Reptile. I was disappointed that Reptile's character had changed from being this nearly invincible merger of Scorpion and Sub-Zero to this just kind of generic ninja raptor guy. Now, generic's not even the right word. I mean, he's definitely a cool character, but I thought he was cooler when he was like a super fast combination of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, giving you the best of both. I mean, you could still maintain that and have him be a raptor that eats people's heads, but whatever. But Reptile's still very cool, and I'm very happy to get to play as him in this game. And the new moves he has are cool. I mean, I remember talking about Mortal Kombat 2 and thinking about Mortal Kombat 2 when I was in elementary school. And this game was definitely a big deal. But to be, quite frank, as great as this game is, and it is very good, and the 32X port I'm having a ton of fun with. I mean, this is a game I could play for a long, long time, and I have been playing this for quite a while, actually, tonight. It's not as good as Street Fighter or King of Fighters, but it's a great game, and it definitely has its own unique look and feel to it, and I really, really wish that there would be more digitized 2D fighting games, because it really is a increasingly lost art form. So I really wish Mortal Kombat would go back to this style, because the way it is now, I don't know. It's just not unique, I would argue. They're nice-looking, American-made 3D fighting games, but they lack the spectacle and the uniqueness of the digitized Mortal Kombat games, in my opinion. But again, to be able to play Mortal Kombat 2 with such ease, and ease not in terms, again, of the computer not doing its job and just having this be like a sparring session, but having it be like, okay, I'm playing a fighting game, I'm doing my moves are connecting, the computer's doing something, I better block, that is much better than the level of frustration that you can experience when playing the arcade version of Mortal Kombat 2. And we actually do have a review that we did about a year and a half ago of Mortal Kombat 2 being compared on the arcade version on the PlayStation 3, the Sega Genesis, and the Super Nintendo. And truth be told, that was actually one of the first video game reviews that I got a ton of positive feedback for, and it really kind of encouraged me to start making more and more of these. So that was nice. Thank you for everyone who commented on that video. If you haven't seen it, go look it up on the channel. Now, one thing I did discover is that you are able to access the 6-button controls in the Sega Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 2. You just have to hit a button in the options screen, which is kind of dumb. I think you should have the 6-button controls just readily available. Like when you go to the special controls in here, it starts off on the activator. Like the activator is like a little octagon that you would stand in, and supposedly the Sega Genesis would try to pick up on your movements. And have those be like inputs for the game. Like, why you aren't just starting with a regular 6-button controller as the default is bizarre in my opinion, because the 6-button controller was at this point common with the Sega Genesis, and it is arguably the best fighting game controller just ever. If I had fulfilled certain requirements, I would have gotten back to Goro's Lair when I went on that question mark, and I would have fought a hidden character. So it would have been Smoke, or I can't think of the ninja girl. I'm blanking on her name. But now we're fighting Shang Tsung, who is young in this game. I actually preferred him as an old guy. I thought he was cooler. But he's a little more generic now. But it was kind of a shock to see the old boss of Mortal Kombat as a young guy. And we just barely beat him. So he is a tertiary boss. Shang Tsung and Goro have been replaced by Kintaro and Shao Kahn. And in other versions of this game, Kintaro is insanely difficult. In fact, the best way to beat him, at least on the Sega Genesis, is through a glitch where you can try to lure him into the corner to throw you, and you can juggle him with perpetual jabs. And that's really what you got to do, at least in my gameplay experience. But you can play him pretty normally on. You can play against him pretty normally on this 32X version. Of course, as I say that now, we might lose, but we'll just see. I'm going to be a little cheap here and try to do some fireball spamming on him and see if it works, because he is, super cheap, as we can see right here. But we'll just see what happens here. Shoot. Liu Kang's low fireball tends to work well on these big bosses because they, they're so large that they tend to have kind of blind spots in their lower legs. But we'll just see how this goes. That's not good at all. Yikes, I'm not doing well. This is going well. I know this is not the most kosher way to play a fighting game here, but shoot. No. Crap. We almost had him there. Kintaro is still a bitch to play in this game, so, there's that. If this starts dragging out, we won't have this turn into a massive, 45-minute Let's Play, but because we've got, I think, a good feel for this game. But it would be nice to show you Liu Kang's ending, because based on my experiences playing the 32X version of this game, Shao Kahn is easier than Kintaro, so if we get through Kintaro, we might be able to get through Shao Kahn in fairly decent time. Go down, come on! No! That is such BS, we almost had him. Nice, crisp voice acting in this game as well. Let's see if this works here, come on. Nah, he won't do it. Ah, crap. Yeah, when he did that stomp, if he had landed in the corner, I could have jammed him in there and kept doing high punches, and he would kind of be stuck in a loop of my attacks. Okay, let's do two more. If we don't beat Kintaro, then we're going to have that be a wrap. Because we're at the 18-minute mark. Crap. There we go. Threw in a high fireball as I was jumping back. I kind of stole a page out of Street Fighter 2 Turbo and do some aerial fireball attacks. It would be cool to do a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat game at some point. Who knows if that'll ever happen, but Street Fighter would win, but it would be fun. Darn it. Alright. Come on, Liu Kang. Dig deep. Gonna mix it up here. Yep. That's it. Crap. No! Got him. Now it's Shao Kahn time, and we'll see how that goes. Darn it. Bad move. Good. Yeah, Shao Kahn's got a blind spot, which you can exploit in this game, which I'm totally down for doing that, because if you try to fight this guy normally, he's going to be a gigantic, cheap loser. You're in good shape here. We got him. Alright, Shao Kahn's rule is over. Once again, you are the supreme Mortal Kombat warrior. And now we're going to get an arcade perfect ending. With his Shaolin Temple in ruins, Liu Kang journeys into the outer world. He enters Shao Kahn's tournament and unleashes a fury that does not end until the defeat of Shao Kahn. Liu Kang then returns to the seclusion of his Shaolin Temple and pays his respect to his lost brothers. He finally realizes that the events which have taken place were all fulfillment of his destiny. And now we get a very cool credit screen, which you can watch on another YouTube channel if you really want to see that. That's our review, guys. So I had a lot of fun doing this review, and I think you'll have a lot of fun playing Mortal Kombat 2 on the 32X. This is, I would say, one of the best games you can get on the 32X. It is definitely the best version of Mortal Kombat 2 you can play, and I'm even saying including the arcade version. Until next time, guys, my name's Noel. You take care, and get over here, Mortal Kombat 32X. Bye-bye.